Episode 5 of Hell's Paradise starts off pretty slow. It's basically a sharing of information between the main cast of characters that are starting to form. Sadly, the crazy purple haired girl is here, but it's okay. Yuzu will, I don't know, I expect her to turn on the gang some point, or maybe she'll fall in love with Gabimara, who knows. But as we're saying, they're just sharing information right now so they can get a gist of what the island is about and all the information they have so they can better protect themselves and survive this amazing ordeal that they're going through. I don't know if amazing was the right word. Next up, we get introduced to two new characters, Tenza and Nurugai. Now, what's interesting about the dynamic between these two, Tenza actually believes Nurugai should be set free and be innocent. There's no reason for her to actually be incarcerated because the true story we come to find out about Nurugai's backstory is that it's just a little kid that happened to stumble across this samurai and led them to her village, and then they just slaughter her entire village for being outcast from the empire. So she was then imprisoned for simply being born part of the free people who did not want to acknowledge the government. They were just living on their own. Next up, which is actually pretty funny about this whole dynamic between Tenza and Nurugai, Tenza, the Asamon, is actually claiming that he's very stupid. However, he's very honorable and chivalrous, which is what we're actually seeing. Currently, right now, the both of them are trying to head out away from the island. They're trying to escape. They're not really going to go back. And Tenza's whole plan is to make it back to Japan and simply tell the shogun that, Nurugai did a good job, put in a good word, and hopefully she will be freed. A next thing to note, actually, Tenzin thinks Nurugai's a dude right now, which is actually hilarious to watch. What they actually stumble across trying to escape out of the island is that there's all these broken and abandoned ships all around. They're just destroyed, and these massive plant tentacle things are everywhere. What's also intriguing is that they start to see monsters come out and they have to fight for their lives. We also get to see Kisho, the egotistical Yamada clan member we met in episode 1, who said he was going to leave the island. Right now he's unalive, so clearly he did not make it off the island. And this is something with Hell's Paradise that I'm actually seeing a pattern with. Unless you're the two main characters, Yagiri or Gabimaru, you may not make it to the end of the series. Now with that being said, Tenza and Nurugai actually make it back onto the shore of the island, and they're there washing off the blood and guts on them, and this is where Tenza realizes Nurugai is a girl. He's panicking and freaking out, trying to keep his honor, and she's claiming how she loves him and wants to marry him. This is a really interesting dynamic to add to the show. The next important part of the episode, we get to see Genji giving a hard time to Yagiri, basically saying she's not a samurai, she's a woman, and she shouldn't be cut out for this and needs to go back home. And he's trying his best to get her off the island. Yagiri's not having any of this, and eventually musters up the resolve to stay on the island and stand with her determination, as well as she notes that her and Gabimaru are basically going to go through this adventure together, and they're going to come out better for it. Next up, we get to see something that actually I did not expect to happen in this episode. Genjin is actually unalived in this episode, at least that's what I really believe right now, as they're immediately attacked Rokurota, the giant who took out the legendary Aizen, the rank 1 Yamada clan member. So this is going to be very interesting, as Genji seems to be either unalived or out of commission right here. I think he's unalived, and Yagiri's facing off against him. So Gabimaru and them are going to have to come to her aid immediately, or this is going to be the end of her. Overall, I'm going to give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. It was very decent. Nice information was being shared between the cast members. There was nothing too extreme to talk about. But besides that, I can see that the next episode is going to be something very interesting to see. So let's head to that.